With the northeast monsoon bringing rains over northern Luzon, let's now check on the weather in cities across the nation from Pat Fernandez. Hi again, Pat.
Hello again, Amelin. According to Pag-asa's monitoring, the northeast monsoon now prevails over the provinces of northern Luzon. And checking out the weather in cities across the nation. In Luzon, Manila, Tagaytay, Lawag, Puerto Princesa, and Legazpi will all have partly cloudy skies with brief rains today. So for those who will head off to the Tinagba Festival in Iriga City, Camarines Sur for a bountiful harvest, just bring with you your umbrellas just to be sure. In Tuguegarao, they will experience some passing light rains, while in Calapan, they will experience occasional drizzles. Moving on in Visayas, Cebu, Iloilo, and Tagbilaran, including Tacloban, will have some partly cloudy skies today, to at times cloudy skies, and this will bring isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. So for those of you who will attend a Pabalhas sa Tablas in Cardoni, Negros Occidental, equip yourselves with a proper rain gear just in case it rains in the afternoon, while Borongan will experience some light rains, and Dumaguete will just be partly cloudy today, especially in the morning. And down south, Davao, Zamboanga, Cagayan de Oro will also be partly cloudy to at times cloudy with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. Butuan and Cotabato, on the other hand, will have occasional drizzles, and General Santos will just be partly cloudy. And that's the latest on the weather this morning. Back to you, Amelin and Jing.
Thank you, Pat. At least 9 people were killed in a blizzard that hit the northeastern region of the United States last weekend. The National Weather Service says the storm covered the stretch of the Great Lakes to the Atlantic, bringing more than 3 feet of snow across the northeast states. 700,000 homes and business were left powerless, and more than 2,000 flights were canceled in Boston and Connecticut airports. Meanwhile, residents in Long Island have started cleaning up the debris left by the snowstorm. Thousands of locals and tourists flock to the streets of Hong Kong to watch the Chinese New Year parade, which features performers from around the world. 36 floats and performing troops from 14 countries participated in the procession to welcome the Year of the Water Snake. This is the 18th time the Hong Kong Tourism Board staged the event. Hong Kong has marked the Lunar New Year with a 3-day bank holiday, as well as a spectacular fireworks display over its famous harbor. The Department of Education reopens the accreditation of private lending institutions, which will offer loans to its employees, including more than 400,000 public school teachers. The DepEd will consider lending institutions which can present alternative credit windows with better terms on loans availed by DepEd personnel. These companies will connect payments using the automatic payroll deduction system. Education Secretary Armin Luistro says there is a need to widen the scope of this service so that public school teachers and non-teaching personnel can choose which institutions can give them the best offer. Applications for accreditation may be submitted to the Office of the Undersecretary for Finance and Administration until March 31st. DepEd, through its Greater Opportunities or Go Education program, aims to provide the public the right learning. Joining us this morning to tell us more about the program are DepEd Region 5 Assistant Regional Director Diosdado San Antonio and Go Education Ambassador Princess Guzman Gatan. Good morning, Mr. San Antonio, and Teacher says.
Good morning.
First, let's discuss this new program of yours called Go Education.
This Go Education is actually an attempt to make sure that the reforms we're doing at DepEd are done right. So we're paying attention to teacher quality, the curriculum enhancement, and the resources as well.
This is particularly, Teacher says, for the K-12 program that we are implementing now.
Yes, that includes the teacher equality and of course, yes, the K-12 curriculum.
I guess what I really want to ask is how ready are we to fully implement the K-12 program?
DepEd has done a lot to make sure that the resource gaps are addressed before we actually implement grade 11 in 2016. So we have several years to prepare. Actually, for the last 3 years, since 2010, DepEd has been able to distribute 62.1 million textbooks. 31,281 classrooms have been constructed with the support of our partners, local government units, and the private sector like the 10 moves and the Bayanihang Pampaaralan. We also were able to appoint 32,000 teachers, 629 from 2010, and 1.3 million seats. Chairs have been distributed to the schools across the country.
These are the gaps that yearly we...
For the last, that's for the last 3 years, almost 3
yes,
years.
we've been
And
talking about
this year, because DepEd has been given 293 billion as budget, we'll be able to construct 17,939 classrooms. This is excluding the classrooms that will be constructed using the public-private partnerships. At the same time, we'll be able to distribute 31 million more learning materials, and we will buy 907,524 seats, and we will appoint 61,510 teachers before the school year opens this June.
So, what number are we really looking at as to the number of classrooms that are needed? Because there are different groups that are saying that this is how much we really need, and then the DepEd is saying another number. Ilan po talaga ang kailangan nating classrooms na kailangan nating
Actually,
ipatayo?
ito yung pag nagawa ito lahat, we expect, although we understand that the recent typhoons have added to our challenges, but pag nagawa na sila, we hope that the classrooms will be, the need for classrooms will no longer be a serious concern.
How about you, Teacher Says? What do you think are the other obstacles which need to be addressed by the DepEd so that we will be able to successfully implement the K-12 program?
As of now, the DepEd is conducting several trainings, teacher trainings. So, since this year, there were 160,000 grade 1 and grade 7 teachers undertook
additional training,
yes,
teacher
yes,
training.
yes. And for the next school year 2013-2014, they will again conduct trainings for grade 2 and grade 8. So there will be approximately 160,000 teachers again. Yes.
What about public awareness with regards to full knowledge on the K-12 program? Because there are still those who believe that the additional 2 years will be a burden for them, as this would mean added costs for the family.
The latest surveys indicate that the acceptance is improving, more than 70%.
72% according to SWS survey. So I think that's a positive indication that the public is...
How valuable is this additional 2 years? You mentioned before that there is a track that one can take, that it doesn't really mean just an additional 2 years. It could mean that even for those who may not intend to go to college, just by graduating in this particular program, they would be able to start work. What are these 3 tracks?
Yeah, there are 3 tracks.
So the students can choose whether they will go to the academic track or
that's the first
sports.
track.
And then we have the humanities, the arts and humanities, something like that. So let's say if they want to be an engineer someday or scientist, so they
they'll
will
go for the
that
university
track.
track.
Or
there's the tech voc track.
yes, tech book.
For youngsters who do not
Yes, yes.
Technicians.
We hope to have them acquire NC2 certification from TESDA so that they would really be employable.
So hindi na nila kailangan mag 2-year course pa sa TESDA
Yes,
after
yes.
this one.
And that's for free. Yeah.
And then yung pangatlo is
Yung
yung
mga
specialized track?
Yeah.
Or
Yes,
anong
yes.
ibig sabihin
Performing
nito?
arts, sports.
Or kung anong, kumbaga kung anong industriya sa kanilang probinsya,
Yeah.
pwede din nilang i-take yun.
That's for the TESDA. So for example, let's say in Batangas, so since sila yung sa Coffee Academy, sila yung nagtatanim ng mga kape, ganyan. So we have the Coffee Academy there. So they can learn about making coffee and something like that. And then sa Davao also, we have since they are known for solar...
Pineapple. Solar energy.
Yes, yes. So baka meron din pong ganun. Yes, in partnership with TESDA.
One of the perceptions that is prevailing is that our teachers have a low salary in our country, and then which is why it may affect now the quality of the education that is being given by the teachers. How has this been addressed?
under salary standardization law, the teachers now will receive, or even the new teachers, or what we call Teacher 1, receives 18,549 pesos. And hindi pa po kasama dyan yung different benefits that they give us, like the year-end bonus, performance-based bonuses, performance enhancement incentives. So, yes, there's a lot. Actually.
Tumaas na.
Yes,
How is it compared to the private schools?
Oh.
Generally, actually, in the province, in my home province, private schools are complaining that there's an exodus of their good teachers applying to be teachers in DepEd. So I think they're finding it difficult to match the 18,000 something plus 2,000 allowances every month.
The LGU also gives some allowances.
So gumaganda na ang salaries ng mga teachers ngayon. So in a nutshell, before we go, ano po ang masasabi ninyo para po doon sa kung meron pa silang agam-agam or they still have a few they're hesitant that this would be a success. What would you tell them?
I would say that we feel so assured that the present management team of the Department of Education, being headed by Brother Arvin, is doing the right things so that we can finally claim that education indeed is something that will help us become a better country.
And then Teacher says?
Para dun po sa mga parents, kasi lagi na rin sinasabi, ano ba yan, 2 taon, pahirap, ganyan. Since I am in the public school, so alam ko po yung mga sinasabi nila. Masasabi ko po, kailangan niyo pong alamin, ikwento ito kung kayo pa ay nakikinig at alam ko naririnig niyo na yan dahil lagi namin sinasabi kung ano ba talaga yung K-12. Ikwento niyo po, pag-aralan at kailangan po namin yung mga tulong din para malaman ng buong publiko kung ano ba talaga yung bagong reforma ng DepEd, lalong-lalo na po yung bagong K-12 curriculum. At may kinabang po tayong lahat dyan.
Thank you so much, Teacher Sas. It's Teacher Sas po. She's the ambassador for Go Education, Teacher Quality ng DepEd. And of course, with her is DepEd Assistant Director Diosdado M. San Antonio. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you also.
Thank you so much.